So knowledge is what? It is the ability to recall data or information. So when a learner is able to recall the data, a learner is able to recall the data when the learner has learned that thing previously. Okay, that is when the learner will able to recall the data. So recalling means reproducing something that you have familiar with earlier. Okay, it is the ability to recall data or the information. For example, a child recites the English alphabets like A, B, C, D. If you're teaching a child A, B, C, D and ask them like just read the alphabets or just tell the alphabets, and the student will start reading the alphabets, reciting the alphabets from the very beginning. Okay, so this is this comes under the knowledge domain of the Bloom's taxonomy. When when a learner is able to recall the data, so this is the thing that we will term as knowledge. Okay, he don't know he doesn't know the meaning of the alphabet, what is A, what is B. It might possible that he has done nothing to do with the alphabets, is not getting the meaning of the alphabets, what the alphabets are, how he can use them in future. Okay, but he is just able to reproduce the information. So this is the thing, knowledge. And now the comprehension. It is the ability to grasp the meaning. Okay, here the learner is able to grasp the meaning of a content, the meaning of the data or the information that is given to the learner. Okay, like a child can explain, summarize, paraphrase. Okay, tell something in their own words, describe or illustrate. Like if a teacher has taught uh, if a teacher has taught water pollution in the class, okay, and the very next day, the teacher asks the learner about the things that they have learned in the previous class, and the learner is able to like describe the thing water pollution. Okay, just explain explain the term explain the term pollution. Okay, water pollution. So this comes in the comprehension ability of the learner. And now the application. Like if a teacher taught anything to the learner, suppose if a teacher taught addition, okay, addition to the learner, and when the student is going to grocery shop or some shop, and there he is applying that thing, he is using the thing addition. Okay, when he is purchasing something, he is summing up the amount that he has to pay to the shopkeeper. So there he is applying the knowledge. It converts the abstract knowledge into the practical. Okay, it converts the abstract knowledge into practice. Application is the ability to utilize knowledge in a new situation. It converts the abstract knowledge into practice. Application is the ability to utilize knowledge in a new situation. Okay, we are using that information in a new situation because the learner learned about the addition in the classroom and he is using that thing at a grocery shop. So both the situations are different. Okay, and it converts the abstract knowledge into practice. Uh, for example, a child can use computer to make presentation. Like in the class, the teacher explained the topic PowerPoint presentation, and at home, the learner is making presentation with the help of computer. So this is the application part. Okay. A medical intern applies what she learned in her medical class to the patient. And one more example is that someone taught you to operate the Paytm, okay, and now you are using Paytm for the transaction of money, scanning the QR. So this is the application part. Clear? You want to give me a more example?
It's clear.
Okay. Now the analysis. It refers the ability to differentiate fact and opinion. when a learner is able to categorize the thing, to compare the thing. Like if you have if I have taught Paytm and Phone Pay and internet banking. Okay, so these two are UPI system. Phone Pay and Paytm is UPI system, and net banking is a different thing. Okay, so when a learner or someone whom I have explained these things is able to compare both the things, okay, contrast the things, pick out the similarities and pick out the differences, then this refers to the this 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 ability, like analysis ability of a learner. It refers to the ability to differentiate facts and opinion. Now, synthesizes, when a learner is able to like sum up the information, integrate the things. Okay, it is ability to integrate different elements or concepts. The analysis is separating the thing, okay, categorizing the thing, and synthesis is just adding the thing, integrating different element or concept in order to form a sound pattern, so a new meaning can be established. Okay, one can create something of his her own. Like suppose a scenario where a learner is taught about the learner is being taught about the water pollution and air pollution, and somehow the learner is able to link both the things, that how these two are able to how these two things are uh, affecting the environment. Okay, so they are integrating both the things. So this is the synthesis ability. Or when I say that, if I am teaching you something and I say that try to link. I am using this thing in the class, or try to link between the things. So this is the synthesis ability of a learner. For example, a therapist combines yoga and sound therapy for his patient. So here, a therapist is combining the yoga and the alternative therapy. So he is uh, integrating the things. Child can create design, hypothesis, etc. Evaluation. You're very well familiar with evaluation. We have done a full-fledged class for evaluation. Evaluation is the ability to come up with judgments about the importance of concepts. Okay, so this was the cognitive domain of the Bloom's taxonomy. And what was the cognitive domain? It was it was KCA2. Okay, S and E. Clear? Any doubt in the cognitive domain?
No, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay. Next is the affective domain. This is emotion based. Okay, and it is related with the heart. Now, this teaching domain includes the manner in which we deal with things emotionally. Okay, such as the feelings, values, appreciation, enthusiasm, motivation, and attitude. This domain is categorized into 5 subdomains: receiving, responding, valuing, organization, and characterization. And the trick is R2 walk. R2. Here R is 2 times, R2 walk. First is receive, then respond. Okay, this is very clear. You don't need to link with anything. It is but obvious that before responding we are receiving something. Okay, after that we are responding to that. So first is receiving, then responding. V is valuing. Since it is a affective domain, so V stands for value, and O for organization, C for characterization. Now what is the thing receiving? Receiving involves passive paying attention and being aware of the existence of certain ideas, material, or phenomena. Okay, willing to listen. Just remember a situation like if you want to learn cycling, okay, and your father is teaching you how to cycle. So he is telling you something like, this is the handle, this is the chain, and this is, you have to get on the cycle like this. Okay, he is showing you something, and you are just paying attention to the thing that he is explaining to you. So this is what receiving. You are learning something, you are paying attention to something. Okay, you are being aware of the existence of certain idea, that you are being aware that how in order to cycle properly, what the things that one should have to keep in the mind. Okay, so you are just being aware of the that, you are just listening to the thing. So this is what receiving. Now responding, actively participating in the learning process. You are not only aware of the stimulus but reacting to it. Like when your father is telling you about cycling, and now you are just trying to be on the cycle. Okay, you are just riding the cycle. Uh, it doesn't matter that how well you are going to do that, but you are participating in the process. Okay, you are learning to cycle. You are cycling. Okay, so this is what responding. First, he was teaching, then he was receiving, and now you are practicing. So this is responding. Valuing refers to ability to see the value or worth of something and express it. Like what is the worth of cycling? That how it can affect you. It helps you in maintaining the fitness and to be more active, to be more physically active. Okay, so this is how you can acknowledge the worth of something. So this comes in valuing, organizing, like putting together different values, information, and ideas, then relating them to already held belief to create your own unique value system. Like if you are cycling and you are just holding the handle with only one hand, okay, and for sometimes when a learner is any beginner in cycling, okay, he is just holding the handle with both hands every time he is cycling every minute. And if a learner is like spend some weeks in learning the cycling, he is able to like hold the handle with one hand, and sometimes he will stop cycling the pedal. Okay, so now he is aware that if he will stop cycling the pedal for some time, the cycle will go, the cycle will not stop at once. Okay, so this is what, like you are creating your own style. Now characterizing it, what you just become pro in anything, acting consistently in accordance with the values you have internalize it, you willing to change one's behavior or way of life. Okay, you are just pro in cycling. So these are the things I have taken example related with cycling. You can relate these things with any other example. Okay, and now here, what the trick for effective domain is R2. R stand for receiving, then responding, value, O is for organizing, work, and C is for characterizing. You are so well trained in that thing that it became your character. Like if we start with the example of honesty, okay. So you have completed all these process: receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, and now this quality, this honesty is within you. No one can separate this honesty with you. Like if someone is watching you or not watching you, if you are honest, then you are honest. Okay, so now honesty is your character. This is the characterizing thing. R2 work. Any doubt from this thing? Effective domain of Bloom's economy? Any doubt?
No, ma'am, no. Characterizing, how do we remember that acting consistently in accordance with the values means, for example, if I continue to talk about the cycling example that you've given, does it mean that initially when the rules of cycling were taught, there was something which were told like you have to be on the left side, or you have to kind of follow the traffic signals or drive on the cycler's pathway, something like that. And
Yes.
while we are learning, we might not implement all of that, but when we are on our own and we find a way to actually bicycle very well and we are riding it on a road, that time we have internalized everything, and we are also implementing the rules that we have to follow while we are riding a bicycle. So
Yes.
following the rules while riding a bicycle, does that indicate the characterizing part?
Yes, and like in the beginning, like if you are teaching cycling to someone, okay, in the beginning they forget to pedal, okay, they forget to apply the brakes. It happens, okay. They are looking forward and they are just forgot forgot to cycle the pedal, okay. They just forgot to apply the brakes, okay. Their mind doesn't work properly. But after the completion of all the four steps, they just characterize it very well. Or I have, if you're not comfortable in this example, I have given you the example of honesty. You can link with that. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the next is psychomotor domain. This is action based, and this is the highest level of the Bloom's taxonomy. It is mainly concerned with the acquisition of technical skills. It describes the ability to physically manipulate a tool or instrument like a hand or a hammer. Now, the trick is in pan. I is what? Imitation or observing the things. M is manipulation. P is precision. A is articulation. And N is naturalization. Okay. Just look at this thing. What the observing or imitation means? It means that it involves active mental attending of a physical behavior and attempted copying of a physical behavior. Imitation literally means to copy someone. Okay. So while learning a skill, okay, if we are copying someone, so it comes into the imitation. Manipulation is, it means performing certain actions by memory or following the instruction. Manipulation is now the teacher who is teaching the skill is not physically there, but we as a learner are doing that thing, okay, by just recalling the memory or just by following the instruction. Now, precision. Accuracy in performance increases with practice. Now, practice, you have just heard about this quote that practice make a man perfect. So, if you are just repeating the things continuously, your precision in that skill will be great. Okay, so this will help. So, practice will help you in the precision thing. Articulation is what? Achieving the desired level of efficiency and effectiveness by practice. So now, like you are so well trained in that skill that you have acquired the desired level of efficiency that is important for the execution of that skill. Okay. Now, naturalization is skill is so internalized, and the learner is able to adapt, modify, or design new techniques. Now, the learner, who was a learner, now is so pro that he is able to modify that technique that he have learned. Okay, he can modify that technique. He can use some different methods or procedures according to the requirement of a situation. Anyone can you give me any example that is related to psychomotor domain and how we can fit that example in all these subpoints? Anyone, can you give me any example related to psychomotor domain?
Ma'am, probably cooking.
Okay, can you explain this?
Yeah. So the first level is about imitation. Here, the active mental attending of a physical behavior, like we go into the kitchen, start observing the way probably we take the example of our own parents or mother who's cooking in the kitchen. We go observe first, and we start after we start observing, we try to imitate by kind of chopping the vegetables or placing the utensils on the stove and lighting it and things like that. Then perform actions by memory or following instructions. There we try to start following the instructions. Maybe we get some instructions as to how to do something and probably use the cooker, close it and put it on the stove. That is like we are performing an action. And here probably there is nobody, we are just using the instructions given, which are stored in the memory. And that is the second level, manipulation. And precision is by doing it every day. Like I'm trying to use the cooker every day, and with that I'm trying to gain an efficiency or accuracy in my performance. So I'm able to effortlessly use the cooker and every day do the cooking. And articulation, the desired level of efficiency and effectiveness of practice, where I know how long it's gonna take, and I know that my cooking can be done in 15 or 20 minutes. I every day manage doing that. I become perfect with it. And without any effort, after a given point of time, I can do it, and the skill is internalized.
Okay, very good. So this is the example that we can relate with the psychomotor domain, and psychomotor domain is the highest level in the Bloom's taxonomy. So any doubt till now, any doubt in Bloom's taxonomy? This is very important question. Or like they can just simply ask the like articulation comes in which domain of the Bloom's taxonomy, or which is the second one in the psychomotor domain of Bloom's taxonomy, anything like that. Any doubt in this?
No.
No, ma'am.
Please give me 5 minutes. I'm so sorry, actually something important was there, so I have to go. Okay. So we have done the psychomotor domain. Now let's come to the questions. First question is, arrange the following according to Bloom's taxonomy. Okay. So these all are the previous year questions.
B, sir.
Option B. Option B. First one.
KCA2SE. Okay. So the correct will be this: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. See, you are able to solve the question. You don't need to learn anything. Second question is, which is the most desirable outcome of teaching in higher education?
All of the above.
Yeah, ma'am, all of the
Yes, ma'am. All of the above.
which is the most desirable outcome of teaching in higher education? Increase in student achievement, thinking of student, higher percentage of result. Okay, all of the above. The main objective of teaching at higher education level is to prepare the student pass the exam, to develop the capacity to take the decisions, to answer this question.
B.
B.
Okay.
B, ma'am.
So the correct answer is B. See, at higher education level, the teacher don't prepare the student to pass the examination. They are self-aware that they have to pass the examination. Okay, to give new information, they are loaded with information. To motivate the students to ask questions, there is no need of motivating them. It is just the we develop the capacity to take the decisions at higher education level. Which of the following set of a statement best describe nature and objective of teaching?
A, ma'am.
A, ma'am. 136.
Okay, very good. The correct answer is 136. See here, a point is thing is written. All good teaching is sorry. This is all good teaching is formal in nature. Just remember the class where a line was written that a teaching is informal is nature. Remember that thing?
Yes, ma'am.
So in this way, they just manipulate the statements. Okay, and a teacher is a senior person. This is irrelevant thing. There is no difference between teaching and training. There is difference between teaching and training. So the correct answer is 1, 3, and 6. By elimination, you can just answer this question correctly. Okay, since this is over, uh, I will teach you Gagnese. You're okay with now? Let's start Gagnese today. It's just only one or two slides are there in Gagnese.
Yeah, we have 13 minutes. We can use it.
Okay. See, this was the Gagnese hierarchy of learning. Two classifications of instructions were there. First was Bloom's and second was Gagnese. Gagnese hierarchy of learning. See, this is the pyramid, and the things which are written at the base of the pyramid, that are the lowest thing, and that are written on the top of the pyramid, that are the highest thing. So in Gagnese hierarchy, first thing is signal learning, stimulus response learning, chaining, verbal association, multiple discrimination, concept learning, rule learning, and the highest is the problem solving. And the top four are termed as cognitive aspect, and the later on the base, the four that are on the base of the pyramid are the behavior aspect. Uh, One question was asked, as I recall, that they just asked like verbal association. Verbal association in Gagne's hierarchy come in which of the following? So first was cognitive aspect, behavior aspect, some other things were also there. Okay, so they can ask in this way also. The top four are the cognitive aspect because they deals with the mental ability, and the later on the four are related with the behavior aspect because they try to change your behavior. And I have written this classical conditioning and operant conditioning. You have I think you have read about the example of in an experiment they have took a rat and they just put that rat in a cage and a bell, they just rang a bell at that time, and after ringing the bell, the food was given to the rat. Okay, and the rat was so adopted to that bell that after they rang the bell and didn't provide the food to the rat, so the rat will just start like
Salivating,
uh,
salivating, and
so
it
yes.
the rats. It was the dog's example, and the rat is like it'll start running here and there.
Yes, I
The
just
dog's example was it starts salivating.
yes, yes. Okay, and so this is classical conditioning, that how we are just training and training training for something. Okay, we are just adding some stimulus to that, and we are training someone with that stimulus. So this is classical conditioning, and this was given by Pavlov. Okay, they just asked this thing like who gave the concept of classical conditioning. So it was Pavlov, and operant conditioning was given by Skinner. So these were the similar examples performed on different things. Okay, like first is done on rat, other is on dog, like that. So just read about this classical conditioning and operant conditioning. This is your homework. Now we will learn about the Gagne's hierarchy. Signal learning is what when a signal is related with something. Okay, like we all know that on a traffic signal, red means for a stop. So if there is a red light, the traffic will stop there. Okay, so this is signal learning, and this is a change of our behavior. Like after seeing something, a red light on road, we just stop. Okay, so this is signal learning. Stimulus is what we response learning, or we are responding something. Like we all know that if a doorbell is ringing, we have to go and open the door. Okay, so if we are doing this, and if any small kid is there in our house, okay, so he start learning that thing, that if a doorbell is ringing, someone has to go and open the door. Okay, so if the parents are sleeping, or if the elders in the home are sleeping, and the bell is ringing, so the kid will go to the door standing there, or go to their parents and saying that someone is at the door. Okay, so this is what the stimulus thing. You can link this with the telephone ring also. Okay, the telephone ring, like if the telephone is ringing, it means that you have to pick up the phone. Okay, and the kids at the home will adapt to this type of response learning, and when the phone is ringing, they just ran towards the phone. Clear? So this is the stimulus, signal, stimulus. Again is chaining, to start linking things. Okay, when a learner is a start to link the things, it comes under chaining. Verbal association, like if I am telling something verbally in the class, and the learner is getting that idea. One example, like if I am telling in the class that if anything is round, it means that it is circle. Okay, and the circle is something which has a curve, a closed curve. Okay, no straight line is there. And if I show a ball to them, and I ask the learners which shape is this, and they will say that this is since this is round thing, so this is a circle. So this is what the verbal association. Like if I have taught something verbally, and they are just able to apply the things in
Can you explain chaining a little more?
chaining, like okay, just uh, take the example of a doll. Like if a kid is there, and every day the mother is combing the hair of that girl. Okay, and preparing lunch for the kid when she is going to school, and putting copies in her bag. Okay, so when a girl is playing with her doll, so what she does, she is just combing the hair of the girl. Okay, making the doll to eat the food. Okay, preparing the bag for going to school, and scolding the doll as she is being scolded by her mother. So this is the linking thing, this is the chaining thing.
Clear, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, multiple discrimination, to be able to separate different shapes. Like if different shapes are being taught in the class, like circle is round, triangle is a figure bounded by three lines, square is something all sides are equal, rectangle means opposite sides are equal. And if a learner is able to discriminate between the shapes, so this comes under the multiple discrimination. Concept learning, like a learner is able to identify the learning circle. A learner is able to discriminate the circle from the triangle. Okay, but now one step ahead, a learner knows the property of the circle. Like this is the circumference, this is the radius, this is the diameter. Circumference is 2 pi r, radius is this, radius is the half the diameter. These are the properties of the circle. So if a learner is able to learn the concept, this comes under concept learning. Rule learning is to know when to apply the Pythagoras theorem. Like a learner is able to identify the triangle, a learner is able to discriminate the triangle from circle. A learner is now a learner is now knows the properties of triangle very well. But if a learner is able to apply the Pythagoras theorem, that is exclusively for triangle, so it means that he is done with rule learning. Okay, because Pythagoras theorem is associated with the triangles. Now, problem solving, highest level in the Gagné's hierarchy, applying all the above knowledge to solve your problem and achieving all the goals. So, this is the problem solving. See, this is the Gagné's hierarchy of learning. These four are the behavior aspect and the above four are the cognitive aspect. Okay, it was given by Gagné and Bragg, I think. So these are the two type of
The classical conditioning and the operant conditioning that only applies to signal learning and stimulus response learning, no?
yes. Like in signal learning, it is classical conditioning, and in stimulus response, there is operant conditioning. Like in this type of conditioning, some type of stimulus is there. Okay. And this is your homework. You have to read about classical conditioning that is associated with signal learning and about the stimulus response. If you want to take a screenshot, you can have. Any doubt from Gagné's hierarchy?
No, ma'am.
All clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.